Juanito Pilaes is a character who liked the same girl as Isagani. He comes from a family that trade metal works. He is known for playing tricks and being a favorite of his teacher. Because of a prank, he ended up with a hunchback. He joined a student group at left when it was banned. When Isagani gets in trouble, the girl, Paulita, decides to marry Juanito instead. Son is a character who is described as chubby and always looks unhappy. With a grin that annoys people, he often disagrees with Sandoval, who is more hopeful and patriotic. When they hear bad news about their project, Pexon suggests going to a restaurant nearby where they serve food by Chinese waiters without clothes. After spending time together, their Sandoval and Pexon starts to get along better. On the upper deck, on a boat called the Tabu, a group of people including Doña Victorina, Don Custodio, Ben Zaib, Padre Salve, Sibylla Irene, Camora, and the ship's captain are traveling up the Pasig River. They joined by Simon, a jeweler with long white hair and blue sunglasses, who is known to have influence over the Captain General. They talk about the river's winding path, and Simon suggests digging a new canal straight from the mouth of the river, passing through Manila and closing the old Pasig. He says they should destroy towns and make prisoners work to save money, and also force men to work more. Some people worry about uprisings, but Simon doesn't care and leaves the group. On the lower deck, Chapter 2. Below the main deck of the boat, medical student Basilio and young poet Isagani talk with Capitan Basilio. They discuss Capitan Tiago's health and their plans to start a Spanish language academy. Captain Basilio is unsure about their success, but the young men reassure him that they have everything under control, including teacher and funds from fellow students. They use a student's house named Makaraig as their venue. They also talk about Paulita, Isagani's love interest, and Doña Victorina's search for her husband, who is actually hiding at Isagani's house. Simon briefly joins them, and Basilio introduces him to Isagani. Below deck, Isagani's uncle, Padre Florentino, is also present, retired and wealthy from his mother's inheritance in exchange for becoming a priest. Chapter 3. The Legends. On the upper deck of the boat, Padre Florentino and Simon joined by the group as the captain discusses legends of the Pasig River. He recounts tales of Malapad na Bato, once believed to be haunted by spirits before becoming a heaven for bandits. Padre Florentino shares the story of Doña Jeronima, who waited for her forgetful fiancé turned archbishop, while Simon criticizes the archbishop's actions. Padre Salve contributes a tale of a Chinaman who turned a crocodile to stone with prayers to Saint Nicholas. As the boat enters the lake, the captain recalls the events surrounding Ibarra's death 13 years ago, pointing out the location where it occurred, sparking intrigue among the passengers. Chapter 4. Cabezang Tales. This chapter tells the story of Tandang Celo and his son Tales, who are friends with Basilio. Tales decided to clear some land in woods to grow crops and starts a farm. However, a religious group claims the land and charges him a fee. Tales pays at first, but when the fee gets too high, he fights back. He takes the group to court, but loses and ends up spending a lot of money. His son Tano is forced to join the military because they can't afford to pay someone else to go in his place. Bandits then kidnap Tales, and his daughter Julie sells everything she owns, except for a locket given to her by Basilio. to pay the ransom. She even borrows money from an old lady and agrees to work as a servant to pay it back. Chapter 5. A Cochero's Christmas Eve. Cochero, a carriage driver, is delayed twice by the Guardia Civil or the civil guards for not having his identification or cedula and for waiting for a Christmas procession to pass. The cochero wishes for the time of the saints when there were no civil guards. Basilio, one of the passengers, notices there are fewer decorations and less joy in the streets, possibly due to the problems with farming, higher taxes, and more abusive civil guards. When Basilio gets out of the carriage to walk, he sees Simon selling jewelry to Capitan Basilis, the curate, and the alferez. Basilio doesn't trust Simon, who here sell his jewelry for double the price he bought it for. Basilio finally arrives at Capitan Tiago's house, where he hears about the kidnapping of Cabezang Tales and other bad news. Chapter 6. Basilio. Basilio sneaked out of the house at midnight to visit his mother's grave in the old woods owned by Capitan Tiago. He remembers the night his mother died and a stranger helped him bury her. Basilio reflects on his life since then, including his struggle with poverty and hunger when he first came to Manila. He worked as an unpaid servant for Capitan Tiago in exchange for permission to study. Despite facing hardships and being ignored by his classmates and teachers, Basilio worked hard and excelled in his studies. Now, after years of dedication, he is about to finish his medical studies and become the commencement speaker. He plans to marry Julie soon.